The interesting thing is that if we compare the Maccabiah, which is the second largest sporting event in the world, to the Olympics, which is the largest sporting event in the world, in terms of the amount of athletes participating, we are a 95% Olympics.
The largest sporting event of 2025 is set to take place in Israel this June, with more than 10,000 participants from Israel and all around the Jewish world participating in 44 different sports in the 22nd Maccabiah Games. Amir Gissin brings a message to the world from both Israel and the Jewish people.
We are here to stay. We're stronger than ever. We did not break under the pressure. And what we planning to is a celebration of resilience and of unity. This is what the Maccabiah is about.
These games will be the first international event to take place in Israel since October 7th, 2023, despite the war with Gaza, as hostages remain in captivity and the Houthis continue to fire rockets into Israel. For Roy Hessing, head of Maccabiah, it was clear that the games must go on despite the ongoing war.
And I think that the message that we were very clear about it from the Israeli government to the leadership of Maccabi World Union, that we are not going to postpone or cancel the games.
Hessing played water polo professionally for many years and later ran the Israeli Water Polo Association and told the Media Line that the tragedy of the attacks will be acknowledged at the event.
It's going to be a combination between the sadness and the hope. The opening ceremony as well as some other activities are going to be very emotional, very important. We're not going to have the Maccabiah like a long memorial day for October 7 victims, but we are going to salute for them, and it's going to be a unique one.
Amir Gissin, a former consul general for Israel in Toronto, explains how the Maccabi movement played an important role in Israel throughout the war.
At this point of time, through our reach and Maccabi clubs all over Israel, and through our center, Kfar Maccabiah, the Maccabiah village, where we had the chance since October 7th to host and help all segments of Israeli society who needed help the most. The evacuees, the Nova survivors, and as it is now well known, the returning freed, kidnapped, and their families.
Amir, October 8th, 1950 has a role in your life. Why is it significant?
Yeah, well, actually, the third Maccabiah was the first Maccabiah in the state of Israel. That was a moving event, many visitors from abroad. But for me, it was significant that in this Maccabiah, 75 years ago, my father participated and won a gold medal in the field hockey competition. The interesting thing was that in the field hockey team, out of the 11 players, 6 was from my family. My father, his 3 brothers, and 2 cousins. So it was a family thing.
A large event requires a large budget.
I don't know if I should ask you about how many water bottles you need during that time, or I should ask you about the figure of the revenue, the budget itself. What is it? Actually, what are both?
All right, so I'll start with the budget. The Maccabiah budget is 200 million shekels. The income for the state of Israel is around 350 million shekels, which means that economical-wise, it's really good for the state of Israel, especially while we're talking about after COVID and after war.
Tourism to Israel was just bouncing back from the pandemic when the October 7th attacks took a heavy toll on the industry.
So we're talking in general about 30,000 participants that are coming just for the Maccabiah, and those are amazing numbers. And if you try to book a bed from July 1st until July 22nd, you won't be able to find a lot of space in Israel. Doesn't matter where you are going to try to find. It means that the entire country become the Olympic village.
How does the audience understand the behind the scenes of what happens here?
Behind the scenes, it's a crazy event. We work on the Maccabiah actually like few months after the previous Maccabiah, which means that we have around 3.5 years to prepare ourselves to this event. from the Israeli government to the different municipalities, from hiring so many employees and having many people are coming to be volunteers at the Maccabiah.
The war is not over. What do you do to protect everyone?
I do believe that when we look at the big picture, we Israelis, we live here. We're used to this situation. It's a society which is ready to deal with many situations. And when our guests are coming, we'll do our utmost to keep them safe.
There's another significant year for you.
Yeah. Well, the 9th Maccabiah, 1973, I was 10 years old. I just joined Maccabi Tza'ir. And I was testing to participate in the drills that was in the opening ceremony, and I was not accepted. So, big trauma. So I had to come back to the movement on the bigger and higher positions. So this is what I do right now, trying to fix the trauma of the 9th Maccabiah.
Despite the rise in global antisemitism, Maccabi hasn't seen decreased interest in participation in the event.
So there are many small communities that we want to give them the opportunity to compete at the Maccabiah because, if you are coming from the Jewish community in Serbia, for example, or, Paraguay, which the communities there are very small, but you want to play football or basketball or whatever, we've changed a little bit the regulation, and all of a sudden they can be a combined team representing the world. It will be called M25. On behalf of the Israeli delegation, it's open to each and every Israeli that have an Israeli ID. It means that around 10% of the Israeli delegation are not Jews, and it is amazing for us because we want to live in a place that at the football national team, we have all the Israelis, from Druze to Arabs to Muslims, and of course to Israelis and Jews. So we are very proud that the Maccabiah is open for all the Israelis and of course to the Jews from around the world by the law of return. And again, my dream is to speak only about sport and joy and hope and to forget about the war.
Nothing will stop the Maccabiah. Nothing will make us go backwards and say, no, actually let's postpone or let's cancel. That will not happen. The Maccabiah is going to take place here in Israel. We're going to have 10,000 athletes marching in Teddy Stadium in Jerusalem. And I think that that will be the best message that we can send the world.
From the Maccabi World Union headquarters, Felice Friedson reporting for the Media Line.